Hello, lovely viewers, and welcome to another episode of Glitz Sports Xpress News, where we give you nothing but the best. Well, remember, I told you we're going to be bringing you updates on the FIFA Club World Cup and other sporting activities around the world, gossips, rumors, transfer news, boxing, hockey, rocky, everything, every other sport. Well, before we get into today's news, I'd kindly ask you to subscribe to our channel, click on the notification button, comment, share, like, and you can also follow us on our various social media handles. We got TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Facebook page. We have a WhatsApp channel, and then you can get detailed news on our website, www.glitsportsxpress.com. So I already told you there's a lot going on in the FIFA Club World Cup with lots of red cards already recorded, goals, everything spectacular. I already told you about PSG, about Bayern Munich. I told you about Boca Juniors. I told you about a lot of things, but today I'm going to tell you about Chelsea. Well, Chelsea played against Los Angeles FC, and it was one of the amazing games. Although they just won by 2-0, Los Angeles FC start Olivier Giroud, the former Chelsea player, and then former Tottenham player Hugo Lloris. Well, the funny thing is, when Giroud was subbed on, I wouldn't say it's funny because he was probably excited to see his former teammates, but just remember, Giroud almost went onto the pitch without his jersey. That was how excited Olivier Giroud was when he got subbed to go onto the pitch. But that is not just he probably forgot because he was wearing a vest that looked almost like a jersey. So Los Angeles FC lost 2-0 to Chelsea. And then remember, Chelsea's new signing, Delap, also had 30 minutes to showcase his talent for Chelsea in the FIFA Club World Cup. Well, remember Botafogo, they also won against C2 Sanders in a 2-1 defeat. So Botafogo won, Chelsea won, and the match that caught everybody's attention was Boca Juniors against Benfica. Well, we already know how Benfica plays. They've been awesome in the Champions League. They've been awesome in their domestic league. And coming into the FIFA Club World Cup, they are not coming as underdogs. They are coming as another team that is competing for the top honors. Well, Boca Juniors played a 2-2 draw against Benfica. And the funny thing is, in that same game, there were 2 red cards. The referee wasn't playing at all. He just launched out. The funny thing is, 2 Argentine stars who play for Benfica are the ones that equalized, I would say, the 2 goals against Boca Juniors. Well, it was Angel Di Maria and Otamendi. Well, these are Argentine stars that you can't write off. Well, remember, I keep saying this. Di Maria won the FIFA World Cup for Argentina. Anybody who knows football or who has watched that match would tell you same. It was Angel Di Maria who won the match for Argentina. Well, apart from that, Flamengo scored 2 goals against Esperance of Tunisia. Well, these are some of the matches that you would already call a win for, because Flamengo is one of the flaming teams in the FIFA Club World Cup. Well, later today, River Plate is going to be playing Wara Red Diamonds. Fluminense will be playing Borussia Dortmund. I know it's going to be another serious game. Well, Bayern Munich already decimated Auckland City by 10 goals. Well, maybe Borussia Dortmund is going to repay the same fate to Fluminense, but well, we wait and see. Well, Usain Hyundai will be playing Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa. Well, Mamelodi Sundowns have already launched out to say they are targeting winning the cup. Well, remember, if any team draws, they win 1 million euros. 1 million euros. That's how much money there is on this FIFA Club World Cup. Well, you win, you get 2 million, you draw, you split 1 million. That's like money that these clubs would find very handy, like they need that fund. Well, in Ghana, I think some months ago, there was an incident where a Nigerian boxer, Gabriel Shegun, lost his life, not in the ring, but a few minutes after collapsing in the ring. Well, there has been a lot of rumors around his death and how the authorities didn't do due diligence with regards to his health, with uh, boxing regulations, but then just allowing him to box on just a pass. Like many said, he needed some fans. That's the reason why he went into wanting to box. Well, Glitz Sports Xpress sent an email to the sports ministry under the Act 1972 Right to Information Bill. Well, we are yet to hear any response from the sports ministry. Well, this isn't, I know it's something many people do not understand, but we are just trying to find out what the committee, the 7-man committee that was set up by the sports minister, reported on, because there was a communique that even the communications director of the boxing authority in Ghana wasn't invited. So Glitz Sports Xpress sent an email to the sports ministry under the Right to Information Bill. Well, it's under the 1992 Constitution Act 989, which allows the Right to Information Bill. Well, we sent an email to the sports ministry headed by Honorable Kofi Idi Adams. Well, hoping that they will respond and then give us the needed audience. Well, we just want a copy of the report that the 7-man committee had presented to him. Well, the reason why we are so particular about this report is because the key witness or some key witnesses in this incident were ignored. If I say key witnesses were ignored, I'm talking about people who were around the incidents, people who were directly in contact with the incidents. So there's a whole Ghana Boxing Authority. They have a communications director. They had other officials of the Ghana Boxing Authority at the boxing arena when the person died. The ring announcer doubles as the communications director of the the boxing authority. Well, he said he was not called, or he was not, how do I put this English? He wasn't consulted with regards to whatever happened in the ring on that day. Well, I'm just wondering if he wasn't called to be asked a couple of questions about what he saw, then what did the committee actually do? I know they are very high-profile boxing intelligent people, but you can't tell me you investigated an issue and then ignore the prime witness. Come on. I'm just hoping it wasn't another committee that was set up to just do something to represent something. I'm honestly hoping that the sports ministry would give us the audience and give us copies of this report, because we really want to discuss this, or we want to educate our audience with regards to what they actually investigated. Well, I think on Sunday, this coming Sunday, the remains of that Nigerian boxer will be sent to Nigeria, where his family would continue their mourning rites. Well, like we always say, our condolences to the family and friends of Gabriel Shegun, another warrior who was lost in the pursuit of his daily bread. It's not easy, but that's what has happened. Well, sad news aside, I told you that we are going to bring you gossip. We are going to bring you tidbits up to date on what's happening in the world of the FIFA Club World Cup, transfer news. Well, let me go straight to the FIFA Club World Cup like I started, and then I'll tell you a couple of things that is going on. Well, there is this particular team that was tormenting another team in the Spanish La Liga. Well, this team didn't did not qualify for the FIFA Club World Cup, but they still petitioned FIFA to want to participate in the Club World Cup just to go and torment the same Real Madrid. Well, I know your guess is now right. I am talking about FC Barcelona. Well, Barcelona is not participating in the FIFA Club World Cup since it's supposed to be two teams from every country to represent. So there is Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. But well, according to Daily Mail, Barcelona petitioned FIFA to allow them to participate. Well, let me read this to you. So despite also winning the Copa del Rey and finishing above Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid, the two Spanish clubs who qualified for the Club World Cup, Barcelona didn't make it into the competition. This is because, according to Daily Mail, the Club World Cup has a rule that ensures only two teams from the same nation can qualify, having been eliminated from the Champions League in the group stages for 3 straight years between 2021 and 2023. The Catalan side fell below Atletico Madrid in UEFA's coefficient table. Well, this is the main reason why Barcelona did not qualify to play in this season's FIFA Club World Cup. Well, many people are asking, what about Auckland City? Well, Auckland City is not from Spain. So if it's two teams from every country, then Auckland City is probably representing Auckland. So there's already Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. It ends there. But the main fun is Barcelona just wanted to go to the FIFA Club World Cup to torment Real Madrid, and that didn't happen. Well, you know, there's rumors about Nico Williams and his interest in joining Barcelona after he hinted with, or Lamine hinted that he has told Nico Williams to join him at Barcelona. Well, Nico Williams, in a subtle statement, said that he's ever ready to play with Yamal. Well, so Nico Williams and his representative over a contract until June 2031 with Barcelona. Well, that's a 6-year contract. Everything has been agreed. Nico Williams will earn a base salary worth 12.5 million per season, plus a potential 2.5 million in performance-related bonuses. Barca are working with La Liga to understand their FFP and registration room situation, hoping for La Liga's green light to proceed with the payment of the release clause worth 58 million euros plus 4 million in taxes. Well, I'm not saying Nico Williams is not worth that amount. Real Madrid is already suffering with just Yamal Lamine. Now it's going to be Nico Williams and Yamal. I don't know whether you watched the Spain game. It wasn't Yamal, no. Yamal was just, sometimes when you play two good players, you realize the other one is just nothing. Well, Nico Williams really was the man. He showed up and he played like a hero. Well, whether he joins Real Madrid or not, whether he joins Barcelona or not, we just leave to see. Well, Kylian Mbappe, who was outstanding in the La Liga season, is doubtful to play in their first game against Al Hilal in the FIFA Club World Cup. Well, rumors are saying that Mbappe missed training due to an ankle injury, and this was reported by Darius AS. Well, the 26-year-old forward who won the Pichinchi Award in his debut season, like that's the 2024-2025 La Liga season with 43 goals, sustained this injury during France's UEFA Nations League match against Germany. Well, he hasn't complained about, or there's not been any news about him having any injury, but well, Mbappe trained indoors at Real Madrid's Valdebebas facility undergoing physiotherapy instead of joining the squad's slight recovery season in Miami. The club is cautious unwilling to risk their star player. You know, this is where the issues start, especially after a season plunged by injuries to key players like Dani Carvajal, Eddie Militao, and Antonio Rudiger. Antonio Rudiger should be sold. Eddie Militao should be dashed to another team. Or Dani Carvajal, I think, should be sent back to somewhere, Deportivo La Coruña or somewhere. Because anyway, that's Real Madrid for you. Well, there will be a final decision on whether he will participate or not by the team's physio team. So we wait to see whether we will get action from Kylian Mbappe. Well, there is always good news from somewhere. I know people do not understand when we say good news, but there are some people, there are some teams, clubs somewhere that needs help. Well, there is this boxing group of, let me just read this to you. So Alliance Française director Lucas Malco announces a training camp for 18 Mombasa boxers next month to be conducted by French former European champion. Well, this is news that makes everybody happy. It's just like Ghana having a boxing gym, like the Bronx boxing gym, like the Ace boxing gyms, like top rank boxing gyms, getting these kind of sponsorships. Well, French former European light welterweight champion Frank Petitjean and a top trainer will conduct a 5-day training camp for 18 Mombasa boxers. Well, this is the good news. I hope it would be in England where amateur boxers will get these kind of training from world champions. You know, it doesn't come just easy. But well, that's one of the things that's happened. Well, remember I told you there was a boxing event in Accra, Ghana that was themed Battle of the Beasts. Well, it was under the Amir Khan and the Rising Star Legacy Promotions. Well, this fight, I've told you already, brought legends like the Ghanaian boxing legend, Professor Azuma Nelson, the likes of Anthony Joshua. There were business moguls who were present. And this boxing, you should have seen how electrifying the atmosphere was. Well, Amir Khan, after realizing this kind of event, had this to say. He said, we are giving opportunities to more Ghanaian boxers to get more involved in boxing. Well, you are not giving them the opportunity. Boxing is the bloodline of Ghana. I'm not saying this because it's Amir Khan, but I'm just letting him know the truth. Go to the Bukoms, go to the Choko, go to the Lakotupons, and they breed boxing. That's where you find the fearless boxers. Well, I think the opportunity he's trying to give them is arraying them for world title bouts, like bouts that's going to propel them into the starlight. Well, yes, if that's the opportunity he's talking about, well, then yes. So he continued, we shall open many academies. I believe that one day Ghana will become the center of boxing in Accra or Africa. Well, it's not today. Ghana is already the center of boxing in Africa. It's not something to debate about. I don't know whether you would compare South African boxing or Kenya. No, Ghana is already the center of boxing in Africa. Well, the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, also added his voice, saying that if he knew that the Bukom Boxing Arena would be this useful, he would have made it a large capacity. He added that it's not too late. Well, he'd probably do an extension, because what happened there on the 13th of June was something you would have loved to, it's something you would love to see over and over again. Well, Amir Khan has hinted that their next event in Ghana would probably be at the Accra Sports Stadium or the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. I continue and I tell you about Dybala. Well, this issue about Dybala it's a very long issue, but well, remember there was a Lazio versus Roma game where Dybala had a problem with Matteo Guendouzi. Well, it was a very funny one. Well, Dybala had something to say about that clash. Well, he said, that French guy talks too much. He talks a lot. He was insulting and trash talking the young players. He told them, I'm going to buy your contract and bring you to play at my house. Well, this is what Dybala thought was like trash talking. Well, for example, Matisoli, who played for Frosinone last season, told me Guendouzi said, look here, you play, look where you play. What's your team even called? I'll buy you myself. Well, Guendouzi, you can't buy anything. The only thing you can buy is your meal. I'm telling you for a fact. You can't go trash talking players like that, whether you know the names of their teams or not. So Paulo Dybala said that really made him mad. So he went after him. We said everything to each other. I had just been given shin guards with the World Cup on them, and I showed them to him. After that, he didn't say a word. Well, now the World Cup logo has become a fighting point. Well, like I always say before we end this session, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit on the notification button, share, like, comment. You can follow us on our TikTok handle, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, WhatsApp page, and also on X, Glitz Xpress on X, and Glitz Sports Xpress on every other handle, where you could get detailed news on our website, www.glitzsportsxpress.com. See you in our next video.